Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Finally getting another video up on my YouTube. So this is a pair of commissions that I done for a customer not too long ago. I just finished them a few weeks ago and only managed to get the editing the video now. So I made two rats which were the customer's pets, and this is the first rat. The next one's going to be in the next video. So this is the big grey one. It's a Dumbo Rex, I think it is. And I'm not too familiar with rats, but they have a different look to a regular rat, so I tried really hard to get that Dumbo look when sculpting them. So I'm using a aluminium ball foil for the armature inside the head, and it basically just gives, it works like a skull basically, and means you don't have to use as much polymer clay as well. And when your polymer clay is too thick, it has a really hard time curing in the oven anyway, so you always want to have an armature inside a thicker piece of sculpture. And I'm using Sculpey Original for the base of the head. That's the white Sculpey. I like working with softer Sculpey because I just like working with softer medium. And for the nose I am using Sculpey, Super Sculpey, and that is a beigey sort of colour, and I'm using that for the ears as well because I want that sort of transparency colour to it. And I'm also doing some glass cabochon eyes as well, just to give it a bit more realism. So for the hands I am using cosplay, and it's the same sort of beige colour as that Super Sculpey, so it works really well. It just means it's a little bit bendable and not so fragile, because they're pretty thin pieces of polymer clay, so I find the cosplay works really well for this. And it's got no armature inside of it because they're so tiny, but I find it has a bit more protection if you knock it or something like that. So moving on to the armature, once I've baked everything, I can attach everything. So I have attached it to my smallest armature, which is the 1/8 scale. I think it is. I'm pretty sure it's a 1/8 scale. I have a few of these rolls in my shop if you're interested in rolls of the armature. I'm plumb out of the pliers though, so I'm waiting for my stock to get a bit lower to do a big pre-order for new pliers and stuff. And then I'm just needle felting the body with some polyfill. I usually have videos of my Patreon on how I felted previous doll bodies, and I am working with this, it's Mongolian faux fur, and the customer picked this one as they said that it looked pretty similar to the way their rat's faux fur was and the colour and everything, so we went with this one. And then I can start sewing everything up. So I work with the torso piece first, and then I start adding the limbs, and I find that works really well, and you're able to sort of contour the torso piece to the needle felted body that I did. Sort of works as muscle tone and then skin basically. And then yeah, start working with the limb parts. So I'm using a ladder stitch to sew everything up, and I have a video on my channel on how to do a ladder stitch, so check that out if you don't know how to do it. And always use a good quality thread as well, because I find if you use cheaper thread it snaps really easy, and you need to have some sort of you need to tug it a little bit to get the seam to be tight. So I always use good quality faux fur. So once everything's sewn up, I can start gluing the pieces together. So I glue obviously the limbs and the neck area, and just make sure it's nice and contoured as well. And then working on the tail, I have a video on my Patreon on how I put the tail together, or how I make the tails. I am going to turn it into a shop item as well for my shop. I just have to get around to doing it. It'll come in a zip folder with the video inside of it. And then just painting all of the areas that are going to be shown once I attach the faux fur, and it's just around the eyes and the nose area, so trying to match the colours to the Sculpey that I did before. Once the faux fur has been attached, I can start sort of refining everything, trimming a little bit more, and adding any little details that I need to add, so like the whiskers and everything. And I have a whisker tutorial in my shop if you're interested in how I do the whiskers. Sorry for the blurry vision, I didn't realise the other rat was in the frame, but this is the finished little guy. Customer was pretty happy with it, so stay tuned for the next one, and it'll be the white rat with the red eyes. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. It helps my channel grow. Thanks to my patrons for supporting me, I really appreciate it, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!